2414 is a podcast about finding hope and common ground through casual conversation. Like the friends on the road in the New Testament, in Luke chapter 24, verse 14, we want to walk away with more understanding that leads to more conversation as the journey continues. Thanks for walking with us.
Pastor Dan,
Shane Welter.
got a very serious question for you.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Do I agree?
Do you agree to disagree?
I'm happy to disagree with you.
All right. We've got ourselves...
What an opening to a podcast. Ooh.
We've got ourselves
Drama.
A game. I don't know if it's a game or not.
All right.
But
The game is afoot.
I'm calling it just, agree to disagree. We've kind of had a conversation before. Like, it'd be fun if we had some, playful debates and just banter on maybe some disagreements.
Okay.
But for that, we have to disagree.
Yeah.
So in this episode...
We're going to find things we disagree about?
I've got a very fun, maybe,
you got a list.
random list of fun debate topics.
Hey, listeners and viewers, welcome, by the way. Also,
I'm getting there.
right.
I'm just prefacing what we're going to be doing.
I just wanted them to know this isn't rehearsed. Shane.
Oh, yeah.
I said to Shane, do you know what we're going to talk about today? He's like, I got something. I'm like, I would love to find out live on the air. So this, we're not acting. I had no idea. I still don't know what we're doing.
Going on.
So, welcome. And
so that's what's going on. So hey, I'm Shane.
Hey, I'm Pastor Dan.
And this is 2414, a podcast about conversation, finding common ground, but also just
or uncommon ground. Dissimilar.
But to just be able to talk. It's a podcast about talking. Is that dumb? I don't know, because they're all about talking, more or less.
Yeah, we should have an episode on what are we trying to do here, because
we've done a few, but it's probably it's always good for an update for it. But 2414 is based on Luke 24:14 on the road to Emmaus, the Bible story on the road to Emmaus. But it's just we like talking, but it's also just a good outlet just to
we want to process real life together,
real conversation. But every once in a while, it's fun to just have fun. Yeah. And so
I was talking with my friend Sam on the phone today about the value in doing things that aren't like productive or utilitarian, of like there's no like product. It's just live life and kind of enjoy that moment.
Yeah. So it's very possible in this episode we will get nothing done. We will not come to any conclusion.
Okay. We're not going to solve it.
We're not solving anything. But
what's the point?
Exactly. But it is a good reminder too that there are people today who don't know how to disagree with people without losing like emotional. You don't know how to disagree. Yeah, it's okay to not see eye to eye to things, but
you can have a conversation without a winner and a loser.
Yes,
or without a verdict. We don't have to decide something. We can just love each other and listen to each other and try to understand and still think the other one's wrong, but still a good person.
Yeah. So
cool.
We're going to do that today. But
all right.
Before we do,
my goodness.
I don't know. We've got a crazy game called Outburst we'd like to play at the beginning of every episode.
We've got 1,000 more cards, by the way. If you're bored listening at home and think maybe they're getting almost through the deck, no.
Not even close.
We're not even close.
It's a game that's similar to Family Feud, best way to describe it. There's a card that we can't see the answers to, but there's a category on it. It might say, I don't know, bathatory supplies, and we got to list the top 10 of those based on.
You made up a word there, right?
I don't know. I make up words a lot.
That's allowed.
But that's not far-fetched to this game, though. This game we found in a closet, and it's from the 80s, and so the answers are so outdated.
Yes.
It's amazing.
And unlike Family Feud, which has percentages of, they surveyed 100 people and the top, 5 answers, we don't know if they surveyed anybody. We don't have any data behind these things. It's just, as far as I know, it was some dude said, I'm going to think of 10 things related to some category.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and I completely forgot. Let's do some highs and lows right before. Because, it's fun to play games, but I don't want to play games if you're like, things are terrible, and I just do. I have no capacity to
It might be a little bit of both. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things can be terrible, and I want to play a game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. But yeah, let's. What are highs, high and low from you?
Okay. Well, man, I've got maybe I'll give you a lighter one and a heavier one.
Yeah.
So my light low is I've got blisters in my hands because we rebuilt part of our fence this weekend.
What does part entail?
We've got I don't know, large. We've got a lot of feet of backyard, like the perimeter is large.
Yeah.
And several parts of our fence have died, but one in particular was
died.
Yeah, one in particular was the gate next to our house. The 4x4 beam that goes in the ground was rotted out.
Ugh.
And that was the beam, the post that the gate hung on.
Yeah.
And so then the gate didn't work, and then the section of fence between that rotten post and then the corner, that section was gone too. So I had to replace 6 feet of fence planks, fence pickets, and then, a 4-foot gate. But to do that, we had to dig out the old fence post and the concrete that was buried in the ground.
Sounds like a big project.
Yeah. So my hands are blistered. My back hurts. I'm using muscles that I have not used for years. And then I'm like, hey, this muscle I've never used. How about 9 straight hours of hard labor, like awkwardly sitting on the ground? Cool. What could go wrong?
Your body was built for endurance, not high maximum capacity.
Yeah, I can run for hours. So I'm sore from that. That's my one low. My kind of other like heavier low is just feeling... I don't know how, like tired, spread thin. As a church staff, we're spread thin. As
preach.
Yeah. So realizing how every job is hard, and every job, paid or not, has different burdens and challenges, and some of the challenges that are unique to pastoral ministry I've really felt recently. Not like the grumpy people challenge. Like sometimes that happens a lot in church work, where it's just people are mean or rude. I'm like, gosh, just try to be nice. It's not so much that as much as like when people die, that's a grief they have. But as I walk with them in that, I feel that. And when people are sick or going through a divorce, or like their loved one is going through a really awful thing, like I end up sharing that burden. And even when there's joyful and beautiful things and weddings and babies and all that kind of stuff, like there's an overwhelming sense of emotion with those that I just the care of people on a human level, besides kind of the spiritual side, like I'm tired. I felt that last few days.
Yeah. Like we might be called to listen, but that doesn't mean it's not work. Like it takes effort to
I was going to say
listen.
Draining, but it's not like you're the problem. It's but to meet you in this moment takes energy.
Yeah. If all like, I don't, it'd be like, not that our job is therapy, but there are certain points where like, there are like similarities, and like we have to listen and care and process with people. And
yeah, you can look up different studies of like the caring professions tend to have like a higher burnout. Because they're working in a different way. Yeah. So anyway, feeling that.
Yeah.
So that's a low. A couple highs. The fence, that small project is done, so that's exciting. The gate works real smoothly. So since then, every single day, I'm like, look, I can open the gate and close it. I'm still there.
You can.
It's this gate of our house. I use it every other week because it's the gate that our yard waste has to come through.
Oh, okay.
And so I just hated wrestling with this gate. But I don't see it. I don't use it. So now I have to go out of my way. I'm like, look at that good looking gate, huh? Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's
it's so satisfying.
Yeah, so that's really satisfying. And another high related to that is I was really grumpy working on the gate because our garage was a mess and everything wasn't organized, and I was just And so yesterday Charlotte cleaned and organized the garage and put all these things away. And so I came home from work, and it's like, I just felt peaceful seeing the counters and the floor and things were in their place. So thanks, Char.
Yay.
Sorry if I yelled at you or anybody else or into the void.
Ever.
All the time. So that's me. Shane, what about you? Lows, highs, how are you?
Yeah. Lows. Would just say last week, Lauren and I got pretty sick, and it just was not fun. And it was just being sick sucks, but it was kind of one of those like, like more brutal 6. Because like, I don't know, you can have a stuffy nose and, you know, more or less function fine.
Would you rather have a stuffy nose or a runny nose?
I didn't even think there was a difference.
Well, one, like nothing's coming in or out.
Stuffy's the answer.
And the other,
anyway.
it's just like dripping constantly.
Okay, well, stuffy then. Yeah, okay. I hate that. There's no greater pain in this world than a runny nose. I hate it.
There was a difference.
Well, now that there is, runny nose is terrible. It wasn't like a runny nose, but it was just like a, you know, you're tired, your body aches, you're just miserable. And,
I would
always
also
hot and
rather
cold.
have you. I'd rather have the people around me be stuffy than going.
That's how I function. I just
I know. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. All right. So that was my low, just being sick.
Okay.
My high, I would say, I was just like yesterday I came home and I was just tired and drained, nothing new. But my high would just be Lauren, because I came home and I was just able to like talk and vent and just like to be able to like process life with Lauren, and it was
awesome.
just so nice. And then after that, we ended up doing like a few hours of songwriting, like working on a lot of songs, and it was just so fun. And not only just like working on songs, but just like, I think awesome songs like that we're like actively excited to like share and continue to work on and produce and make.
That's really cool. That reminded me of another low.
Oh yeah,
is that when I'm like worn out or frustrated and down, that's usually when I'm least in the mood to share feelings and hard things. So like Charlotte would recognize that I'm not having a good day and she wants to know why and she wants to process. But when I'm not in a good moment, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Which just makes it worse.
It's just an endless cycle.
And then it feels like I'm pushing her away.
Yeah.
And I'm not loving her well, because it would love her well for me to express myself.
Yeah.
So, and that's something I'm working on, is getting out of my own head when I'm pouty or sad or just tired or discouraged. That's when it takes effort for me to be open and share, even with the people who are closest to me.
Yeah.
And when I'm like worn out, I don't have the effort to reach out for the help I need.
Yeah.
So that kind of becomes this spiral.
It almost feels like, it's effort to try to help yourself.
Like I need you to help me, but I don't have the energy to like allow you to.
So it's just like, figure it out, or just let me suffer.
Yeah, but like I don't want to suffer, but I don't have the energy to meet you where we need to meet in order for you to love me well. Yeah. Anyway, just hearing you say, I had a hard day, so I talked to Lauren. I'm like, oh, that's what I should do. Not Lauren, but Charlotte.
You can talk to Lauren, but
weird.
Talk to your wife. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my high for today. Is now feeling motivated to be share better.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, and that's kind of why in this episode, obviously, like, you can tell through Dan and I's banter, like, we're pretty tired, just in general. Like I can't remember like the time. That was one of the things Lauren and I processed. Like, I can't remember a time like where I just wasn't like so physically drained and exhausted, and like not just like I'll have a day or two maybe like where I'm like, I've got,
but not 3 years or 4 years.
No, not even like a week straight. I like so like that's why I like this episode. Like, I think it should be fun just to look at like just random things.
I love
random fun. I'd call them fun debate topics that I just found randomly online. And
thank you.
We can say like, do you this thing or that thing? And
how
like,
many are there?
There's a few.
Is it 30?
Maybe.
I didn't get a backside.
Yeah, I accidentally double printed.
Okay. I'm curious, how many do you think we're going to agree on or disagree out of the 30?
That would be fun.
I bet we agree on at least 20.
Yeah. I'd say
you can disagree.
17. Slightly different.
All
but
right.
before we do, we have to go on our word and play this game of Outburst. I don't know what the air horn is.
No. It shouldn't be the air horn.
Where is it?
Always something happy.
Is there music?
Air horn's scary.
You want scary?
No, air horn is alarming. I want something happy. Okay.
Hopefully it's
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite podcast version of Outburst.
Hey! Oh wait, where's the?
Oh, Shane. Oh, look at live studio audience.
Oh wow!
Thank you for being here today.
Get out of this room, people! Why are you cheering in here? How did you get in?
If you would like to be part of the live studio, and send in $5 and a self-addressed return stamped envelope.
And you too get to awkwardly watch us talk.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah. All right. Let's do it. What is the category at hand today?
So, just a reminder for our first-time listeners here, I'm going to read a category. We are going to flip over this sand timer of some amount of time. And then while the sand is falling through the hourglass as the days of our lives, we are going to outburst, verbally explode into the microphone at one another as many things as we think are going to be in this top 10 list related to this topic.
All right, let's just do it.
Play along at home. If you're driving, push pause, pull over, be safe. I am blindly taking a category. If it's inappropriate, I will draw it again. Because this was the 80s. They had different rules.
There were different rules.
Not always better, different.
All right.
I can't. That's not bad. Well,
It's not bad.
I don't think we can do anything.
Is it like Dallas?
Oh, it says famous Janes. How many Janes do you know that are famous? That's Fonda. 1.
Air. Jane
Okay,
Austen.
we're going. All right,
Go.
apparently we're going. So
Jane Eyre, Jane Austen.
So we got to write Fonda, Air, Austin,
Jane. Jane.
G.I. Jane. Is that it? That was like
Yeah.
a movie in the 90s.
I mean, but it was G.I. Jane. That was like the female version.
Jane. Who was the scientist lady who worked with the chimpanzees? Was that Jane somebody?
Jane
Goodall.
Oh, you actually remember? Wow.
That might not be Jane, but Goodall is the chimpanzee lady.
Oh, isn't Jane from Tarzan?
Sure, Tarzan.
Jane from Tarzan.
Okay. Jane, and so it's also with an A or an AY. It gives us
That's
that.
not going to make a difference to me. I don't know how to spell.
For those of you listening at home, it's A or AY.
Jane Bell. I'm just going to...
Jane Bell.
Just
Jane
make up
Smith.
names. Jane Smith. Yeah, there you go.
Jane Johnson.
Jane Johnson.
All
Everyone's
right.
favorite.
And
Jane Jameson.
Jane.
Jane Nixon.
All right, time.
We got 1.
No, we got at least 3. I'm saying 3.
Okay.
You're going to go with 1?
Yeah. I'm going
Okay,
1.
listeners at home, when you think about famous Janes
From the 80s.
Janes or Jaynes as of the mid 1980s, which Janes would fill up your top 10 list?
I'll
tell you what Hasbro came up with.
Survey says.
Here we go.
Brand is.
Okay. Jane Fonda got 1. That's the first one I said. 1.
Oh my goodness.
We're 1 for 1.
That's insane.
It's going to go down from there.
Yeah. Oh, easily.
Who was Jane Fonda? Is that a workout person? Exercise lady? Okay.
Yeah, she invented Clorox wipes.
I think she's like the Thigh Master person or like Jazzercise.
Oh,
Maybe not.
maybe. No clue.
I'm so nervous.
I
saying
wasn't
these
alive then. I don't know.
things. All right. Number 2, Jane Wyman.
Wyman.
We should Google these people. Do you have your phone on? No, we don't have time for that. W-Y-M. By the way, if this is like a pornography actress or something, I'm not.
We have no idea.
Maybe don't Google these things. I don't know. I'm just reading names. If this is a bad person, I'm
Dig
sorry.
yourself in a deeper hole.
I'm curious though.
I have no.
All right.
Are you curious?
I don't know who. Okay, so number 2,
All right.
Jane Wyman.
Jane Wyman.
Did we get that one?
No.
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 Number 3, Jane Wyatt. W-Y-A-T-T.
No.
Nope.
No.
Number 4, Jane Powell.
Jane Powell. Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
Number 5. Oh, this is the first with a Y. Jane Mansfield.
Jane Mansfield.
Okay. Number 6,
Okay.
also with a Y. Jane Meadows.
Jane Meadows.
Okay. Number 7,
Not say.
Jane Seymour.
Jane Seymour.
Number 8,
is up there.
Jane Pauley.
Jane Pauley.
Pauley. Pauley.
Okay.
Number 9, Jane Russell. And
All right.
number 10, Jane Kennedy.
Jane Kennedy. Oh, we could have said a Kennedy.
So 2
All right.
of them had a Y, and we got 1.
I'm not upset because I guessed we got 1. So.
All right. And I got the 1 as the first one I said. So I feel like we're winners. today.
We basically won.
We did it. And friends, that's how you win at Outburst.
And that's how successful they go every time.
That was terrible. That was so bad.
We got just one more redemption. Quick. Lightning round.
Okay.
Lightning round. Don't
Lightning
even
round.
think about it. Just
Don't even think
draw
about
it.
All right, here we go.
Flip that timer.
All right. Play along at home. Put however many seconds on the board. Countries that are cold.
Greenland, Iceland,
Canada.
Yeah.
Russia.
Oh yeah.
Mongolia.
Norway, Sweden, Finland.
Denmark. It's not that cold.
Sure. Why not? United States. Why not?
Germany. They've got mountains.
USA, Alaska.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
USA.
I'll just say
Alaska.
Antarctica. Why not?
Antarctica. Is that a country?
No, I don't know. Probably
Okay.
not.
Countries that are cold.
Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan. I'm just gonna name them all.
Just saying the countries. All
Yeah.
right. Did we say China?
No, yeah, I like it. Oh,
Who's good at skiing? Holland.
what is
the
it?
Dutch.
Nepal. That's what I'm thinking of.
Nepal. Oh yeah. There you go.
What's the other one in between China and Russia? The Mongolia.
I said Mongolia.
Oh, you did. Sorry,
Man, don't even listen.
I can't even write all these down. We're gonna crush it.
We're gonna crush it.
Chile.
Okay.
Why not?
Chile. And time.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Countries that are cold. How do you think we did? Out of 10?
We have to have gotten like 7. At
There's
least
a lot of countries in the world.
There's so many countries.
This is so arbitrary. It could also just be like Mexico. It snows there sometimes in a
Yeah.
certain place.
Yeah, the elevation's high.
Ooh, Shane, you dominated.
All right.
Oh, we missed an obvious one.
Oh no. Okay.
It's okay. Number 1, Iceland.
Iceland.
We said it. Number 2, Greenland. We said it.
Yeah.
Number 3, Norway. Shane said it.
Yeah.
Number 4, Finland. I think you said that one.
Yeah, Norway, Sweden, Finland.
Sweden is number 5.
Sweden.
Number 6, Russia.
Yeah.
Number 7, the Arctic.
We said Antarctica.
Number 8 is the Antarctic.
The Arctic? You can't call that a country. Antarctica, I don't even think
Well,
is.
we only said one of them anyway.
Okay, well,
we said Arctic or Antarctic. I don't know which we said.
We'll just take Antarctica.
We get
I
one
guess.
of them.
Why
All right.
not?
So 7 was the Arctic. 8, the Antarctic.
Okay.
That's not a country. Number 9, Canada.
Yeah.
Said that. And number 10, I think you might have been thinking of this one, Tibet, over by Nepal and China.
Yeah.
We said
Isn't-
Mongolia, but we didn't say Tibet.
I thought Tibet. I guess. Is that a country? Because I thought it was like technically.
This feels like a political thing. You're not supposed to ask these questions.
80s
Is it a
political.
recognized country as of the 80s at the people at
I'm
Milton
not-
Bradley? It was recognized
I'm
as
more
a country.
surprised that doesn't say USSR instead of Russia. Honestly,
The Soviet Union.
the Soviet Union. Yeah.
So we got
Alright.
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's one of our best rounds ever.
This is-
all time. That's a top 10 round.
This is top 10. I know it's scary for you, but here we go. That's air horn worthy. Speaking of air horns, I know you don't like them, but let's talk about things we might not agree with.
Okay.
Yes. We can agree to disagree on
We can.
certain things. And listeners will probably be screaming in their headphones
This
or car,
is-
like,
this is
how
good.
can you guys say that?
Yeah.
You guys are crazy. But I don't know, like all things, like we're not. It's conversation. You can talk about these things. We're not looking at a screen or just watching the news and say "grr."
Right.
And you can converse. You can talk. And at the end, if we don't agree, at the end, I'm not trying to sway your vote.
I've got
Although it
some
might be
strong
fun.
opinions, Shane. People are like, "Hey, can I get your opinion?" I'm like, "Oh, I got lots." So
Too many.
I'm ready.
All right. So well, let's. Which makes a better pet, cat or a dog?
I've got my answer.
Well, you can just
Oh,
alternate.
okay. All right. So I like dogs as creatures, but I would say cats make better pets.
Ooh.
I would rather have a dog, but cats are better pets.
All right.
I don't want to pick up their poop with a bag. That's weird.
Yeah.
Cats clean themselves.
I think most people in the world would say dog, but I'm also team cat. I grew up with a cat.
All right.
I think they're easy to maintain. You can love on them. There's angry cats the same way there's angry dogs, and some are
Yeah,
like
they're
all
less
animals.
likely to kill you. Like dogs can literally like put you in the hospital. Cat, they might scratch you, but you're not going to lose a limb over it.
You can lose an eye, maybe. I don't know.
That's true. I still would rather have a cat.
I think you can have good and bad animals of all of them, but you can
leave them for a couple days. You can't leave a dog for a couple days. That would be disastrous.
Yeah,
like you have to pay somebody like to take your dog to poop outside, and then like ask your friend like, "Hey, will you pick up my dog's poop?"
Dogs also eat gross. A lot more too. Nothing against dog owners.
No, I would rather. I love dogs.
Yeah,
I don't actually like cats, but if I had to have a creature at home, cat for sure.
Yeah, we agree.
All right,
boring.
Number 2, Shane. Would you rather be? You can think about this however you want to think about it. Would you rather be really big or really small?
Ooh, it's arbitrary enough where it's like, does that mean like 7 feet or like 5 feet 2 inches small? Like,
I think I've got
or
my
is
answer.
it like really big, like you are 12 feet tall, or you are same proportions and everything, just like a foot tall?
Yeah.
I honestly.
Here's how I thought about it in my head. I'm not going to give you my answer.
Yeah.
I would say, like, let's say the average male is something like 5'10". All right. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm going to say like 18 inches plus or minus from that.
So we're going
like a foot and a half bigger or smaller.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say really small. Only because I feel like the bigger you get, just the harder it is to, like, I don't know, really, really tall people have so many health problems with like joints, and on top of that, you have to eat insane amount of food to keep up with like your body's metabolism at that size. I think it's just easier to live, and smaller food portions go a longer way. I'm pretty frugal. Yeah. I like to save money, so I got to go team small here.
I did too, because similarly, you can buy smaller clothes. Kids that get kids large still fits, as opposed to going to a specialty store.
Less fabric. Yeah, exactly. Like you can wear kids' clothes. Just wear your Jonas Brothers Sketcher light ups,
and of all the sports I enjoy, like, I know you play basketball. That's not my jam.
Yeah.
I like other sports. Sometimes size would be helpful, but in terms of like distance running, like less mass, I mean, maybe it'd have a longer stride, but there are no 7-foot marathoners doing well.
Yeah, your body can't keep up with that. That's hard.
The wear and tear is too much.
Well, so far this whole episode's a big disappointment.
No, I guess 20 out of the 30. So I
that's true.
We might get there.
All right. Let me ask you, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Oh boy, I'm gonna say chicken.
I'm just trying to think of.
You weren't even ready. Okay,
I'm never ready.
Okay,
yeah, trying to. I guess. Chicken. I'd go chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, just. I'm trying to think of like in the creation aspect too, of like what if God put an egg in and then it hatched, and I don't know, it's dumb, but
no, I think my view on creation is part of that,
and even even if you looked at it from an evolutionary standpoint too, like at what point, like I don't know. There's a lot of different avenues to that question.
All right,
but I think chick. Yeah, we agree. Boo.
All right, we'll get there. Number 4, Shane. Homework should be banned. Agree or disagree? Like no more homework.
This is.
What do you think? Should kids have homework, or some of the other alternatives?
As much as I hate homework, I think it serves a pretty good purpose.
Yeah.
In that you can't learn everything from being taught. You have to be hands-on with it. So I think homework's very practical. As far as what that homework might be, I don't know, that's a whole different can of worms, but no, you can't ban homework. Yeah.
I'm also pro homework. I think there should be far more than there is. Every day my kids tell me they have no homework, I'm disappointed. I'm like, this is why we're failing as a country.
I've always had so much homework. I think I had way too much homework as a kid, but I have no idea what kind of homework looks like nowadays, but yeah, No, don't ban homework.
Okay, some of these are going to be easier. We can cruise through the easy
Some of
ones.
the okay.
Let's find where we disagree.
All right, McDonald's is the best fast food restaurant. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Disagree.
It's not the best.
Bad.
By the way, like as much as people might poo-poo on it, I like it. I like most fast food restaurants. I know they're garbage.
As do I.
A good quarter pounder with cheese. I would take McDonald's over a lot of things.
And I could talk about fast food all day, and McDonald's just is so far from its glory days of my high school youth, where I could get a McDouble for $1. Oh my goodness, I could get. Oh,
I also think the categories have kind of blurred. So McDonald's is fast food, but there's other things that are like say Culver's. Like I guess that's still technically fast food,
It's
but
still
that's
fast
more like
food.
that starts to feel sit down in that's like a $12 meal, which maybe McDonald's is too now.
yeah.
All right, number 6. I will ask you, Shane. Summer is better than winter. Agree or disagree?
Agree, hands down. Or summer. I most of the time summer can't kill me. Winter kills people. It kills things.
But you like the rain. You like the gray. I thought you were going to disagree with this one. I thought we had something.
I'm
pro summer.
I love okay. I love summer.
Okay.
Yeah. I love rain. I love rain more than like summer, if that makes sense. But I like thunderstorms and lightning.
I do like thunderstorms.
And like I don't know, like when I think winter, I think cold, snow, blizzards.
I just think dark up here. It's just so dark.
It is, and I do like it, but it's cold. It's still cold, and I don't like it. I like being.
All right, we're good there. Number 7. Oh, Shane.
Okay.
I got my answer.
All right.
Who are better teachers, men or women? Just blanket statements.
Wow.
Men or women? Who make better teachers?
All right, I'm saying this from my listeners. I'm saying this from my personal
so defensive
point of view. I have to
Don't be nervous.
I am. I'm always
Be
nervous.
bold, Shane. We might agree.
For me,
yes.
I think there's a relatability in who is being taught and having that person as a role model, and I think it's healthy to have a same gendered role model. So
Okay.
I'd have to say male teachers for me and my.
Okay, but the question isn't for you as a male. It's in general.
In general.
So
okay. In general.
So let's say the student population is 50-50. So
Okay.
it's 12 girls, 12 boys. Who do you want being the teacher?
A woman.
Okay.
My experience, I've had the chance of being a good teacher and a bad teacher, that needle sways far heavier to bad and good with the male teacher, because I've had a lot of terrible male teachers.
Okay.
Most of them,
But the women are more consistent.
They're more consistent
Okay.
and loving to their students. So
Okay.
woman.
All right. I'm gonna disagree here. I'm gonna say men.
Oh.
And here's my explanation. I think women are great teachers, by the way. And like you said, there's bozos on both sides of things.
Yeah.
I said men in the sense of I think so many teachers are women. I don't think there's enough men. And relatedly, I would say a lot of, things depend all kinds of context factors. But I think it's the case that a lot of kids, I think there are more kids who have a mom and not a dad than there are kids who have a dad and not a mom.
Yeah.
So
I think statistically you could.
yeah. So
see
I think
that everywhere.
many kids have a woman at home who's an example for them and loves them, and there are lots and lots of kids who don't have a dad or male at home.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a real significant need for a loving, nurturing, teaching male in a person's life.
That's why I love this conversation. I agree with what you're saying, but I think like disagree with the result, because I think even if you could like miraculously scrap up a bunch of male teachers to teach, I think a lot of them would just be
Not
terrible,
be good at it.
be
Yeah.
terrible, and I think it just Yeah,
No, I agree. I think most of my teachers, some of the best ones were just the almost not cliche, but the stereotypical, like a loving, nurturing woman who was very kind and patient and compassionate in the way that some of my male teachers weren't.
Yeah.
But I also really thrived under the teacher who said, "Weber, you're a knucklehead. Knock it off, or you have to leave this class."
Yeah, that was
good for me.
There was a stern love and a stern respect you had for those teachers. I think it's hard too. There's so many factors in this question that you can't like.
That's okay. We're not solving the top. That's not our topic for today.
We are solving this for
men or women. All right, we're seeing where we disagree. So I think we have some nuance there. We don't see it the identically same way, but we're able to talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. Number 8, Shane. Would you like to live forever? I'm going to treat this on a not.
Did I?
Oh, what?
Hold on. I know. I have to. Oh, you asked the last one.
You ask. Fine.
Yeah. All right. Now, no. So the question is, would you like to live forever?
Now, here's how I'm answering that. Not in a religious, spiritual, new creation sense, but like in a, like on this earth, everyone around me's dying, and I stay this age forever. Mm-hmm. Like Groundhog's Day almost, but not repeating.
Yeah. I mean, this is the world you're living in.
So am I the only person who's living forever?
It is. It looks like it's just you.
All right, then I would say no. I don't want to live forever by myself.
No. More rationale.
Well, like it would be really sad to see everyone I care about keep dying and going away, and I think I would be like, I would just become increasingly lonely, because like my personality is I'm going to keep learning and growing and improving on stuff. And so after, 1,000 years, I'm the best at everything and no one likes me and everyone I've ever cared about is gone.
Yeah. And I would also, I would assume too with this question, like in some sense, you're like invincible, like you're not aging either. You're not increasingly getting older and more brittle. And just, like, that's just suffering. Yeah. Like, but yeah, I had a great conversation like about this question with my father-in-law because it was in a game.
Okay,
it's like, what do you think that their answer is? But yeah, would you like to live? And all in all, I would say yes, but it would have to circle back to the like. It still centers on my belief. Well, kind of like. So like, I think there'd be so much suffering. It'd be terrible. Well, okay, maybe my answer is disagree, but like if I didn't have a choice in living forever, and I got to see the world and its terribleness and its full cycle until Christ comes back, and I get to see the new creation formed before my eyes, like, and then be part of that whole new creation and just join the saints again, like once again.
So if it's 50,000 years and you're the only one who lives that long, you want to do that?
No, it sounds terrible.
Okay,
but
so we agree. We agree. All right,
but it was a really cool. It was a cool thought. I'm like, oh wow, let's just see that.
All right, number 9, Shane. Children under 16, should they be allowed to vote? Should we change the voting age to 15?
I'm gonna disagree on that.
Absolutely,
I think there's still so much maturity.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah,
all right.
I don't think we should raise it either. I think it's great where it's at. Yeah.
All right. Next question.
All right. Children shouldn't be allowed cell phones until they turn. Or sorry, let me just read. Children shouldn't be allowed cell phones until they are over 18. Agree or disagree?
So here's I'm going to answer it kind of two ways. I don't want legislation that says that.
Oh, so legally, like.
But I would love it if every parent in the world said, "No, kid, you're not getting a phone until you're 18." So I'm going to say, I agree that children should not be allowed to have a phone until they're 18. I'm not sure if I'm going to even do that as a family, but I want to live in the world where kids today, as of smartphone technology, do not get a phone until they're 18.
I'm 100% on board with you, but the only nuance I have to this is maybe when a child or whatever kid turns 17, give them a dumb brick phone, and that's all they get.
That's why I say smartphones. Like
smartphones, yeah, for sure. No, I can't. I don't know. Like, and again, I'm not even close to having this.
You were
like,
18
thought as
a week ago.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not in a position to be telling parents and adults what they should or shouldn't be doing with their kids, but as a Gen Z, on the older Gen Z, and a product of this, like on the very cusp of kids with cell phones, all in high school and grade school and whatnot else. I am saying this now. It is terrible for the mental health of a kid, and
so bad.
There's
So we'll move on. No.
Well, I'd say like I disagree with your answer because I think it is super helpful. By like kids like a senior in high school, and they're on that cusp of adulthood, college.
So dumb phone.
I'm not saying like mature, but like maybe like a dumb phone. By the time they're 17, by the time they're senior in high school, I think like, all right, like that transition has to start at some point. I'd rather it be while I'm still like monitoring them, and so
that's fair.
Yeah, that's.
All right, I'm going to ask the number 11 here. So I put like a question mark next to that one. I feel like it's a half agreement. Number 11, smartphones make us stupid. Agree or disagree?
That is a strangely profound question.
Smartphones make us stupid. You're thinking way longer than I did.
I am. I'm going to... Gosh, this is way too deep.
The answer is 100%. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I am gonna say disagree.
What?
So like
you're an idiot. You were raised on a smartphone. This is what we get. This is my point. You're proving my point, Jane. You're an idiot.
That's the end of the episode, guys. I hope you've learned nothing from this. So I think socially, like for society, for like relational purposes,
for brain development
and everything, like along lines of like for humanity's sake,
100%.
Yes, it is making us dumb. What
does that leave out?
Hold on. On an IQ, on like a fundamental like intelligence factor, yes, smartphones 100% are making us smarter. But like
smarter,
yes. So yes, smarter in the sense that it's we are accruing way too much intelligence for our own good. We have way too much information in our hands, and like that kind of like. So
I'm not equating information available to us with intelligence.
Because that's like in the most simple sense, that's what intelligence is. Like any kind of question, like how big does a salmon grow on average? Well, like I have a smartphone, and like I Googled this answer recently, and I know the answer. Like on basic knowledge, yes, we are smarter. Humanity is smarter than it's ever been.
We have more information available to us.
Yeah, but I think like maybe we get a little too deep here, but like I think. Like we are becoming too much of our own like personal gods with that information, and we are become know-it-alls, and I don't, in a sense, like I don't need. I think your opinion is wrong because I'm smarter than you because I know so much information because I follow all these people on the internet, in this topic and blah blah blah. Like, so like I think they're making us smart and too smart in a sense, but. From a humanity point of view, we're dumber than we've ever been.
Yep. So yeah, I guess I would where we are disagreeing, I would say is what we are recognizing or celebrating as smartness or intelligence. So for me, being able to look up the average lifespan of a penguin is not intelligence. It doesn't help me learn how to think or problem solve or process data.
Yeah.
So we've got more information available to us than ever, but I think we are more prone to fall for every fallacy in logic than ever. We are not able to look at data and think through things well.
Logically, like
So I don't think we're more thoughtful.
But I think we're in a simple term, or smarter.
All right, so we can disagree on that one, even though you're wrong. Sorry,
The worst episode.
No, it's but I honestly I think what you're describing is one of the reasons we can't let go of our smartphones is because
There's so much power.
right, but I think it's a false power.
Yeah. I agree absolutely with you. Like we're dumber than we've ever been. Like, but I'm just it's coming down to just how we're viewing like what does smart mean? Like
in the book by Cal Newport called Digital Minimalism.
It's an incredible book or read that.
But there's a chapter where he's interviewing they go and study the Amish people and Mennonites and these other religious communities, and there's this lady out I think in New Mexico she's never had a smartphone, and she's like, yeah, it's kind of annoying to print off directions when I go somewhere, but like it takes 2 minutes. Like I just go online and print it off and I get there fine. I always have. Like I'm not like, what about maps? Like, yeah, like people for generations got where they were going. Like we had an atlas and like I would literally drive across the country like with a paper map and I got there.
I know people who don't know how road signs work, like on the freeway. Like, it says exit for Seattle right there.
Yeah.
You take that.
So this lady was like, yeah, that's kind of inconvenient. But then I look around at all these people who are just like zombies staring at the phone who are angry all the time. And she's like, I would way rather spend 30 seconds and print a map than ruin my life over this thing.
But it seems so trivial. Like looking up directions corresponds to never happy,
Pete Holmes is a comedian.
I love Pete,
who's not appropriate. Don't listen to him.
But
we do not endorse him. But he's got a bit about before smartphones and internet, and he was like, there was a time when if you didn't know where Tom Petty was from, you just didn't know. And then some point in your life, 10 years later, you see somebody with a Tom Petty shirt and they know, and you have this moment of discovery and you feel alive, and this like, the sense of wonder, and the gap between not knowing and knowing made the knowing so much more important. And now there's no gap, and now we don't wonder and we have no joy.
It really is but it is like, do you remember when you didn't know something and you had to call someone to ask?
Yeah, there was like a number you could call. Is it 411? Like you could literally call an operator.
But I mean, like, I got to call my dad because I don't know how to change my oil. Like, you don't need to do that. I can Google how to change the oil on a 2012 Chevy Sonic.
I used a lot of YouTube before I fixed my fence. I watched several videos. I watched several of them several times and got the confidence. I watched this dude do it so often, I can do it.
But like, not putting you down. But like, could you imagine if when you had to like repair something, fix something, you had to ask your neighbor, and you got to know your neighbor.
What a world.
Too bad people. We've never lived like that ever. Okay, we're on this one for a while. We could talk about 12. Okay, number 12. I'm just gonna rephrase this.
Okay.
The best pizza topping.
Yeah, the best.
The best pizza topping. What's the best pizza topping?
All right, I've got my answer.
Actually, that's the same question. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you rephrased, but that's fine. What's the best pizza topping? I've got my answer.
I also have mine.
Pepperoni.
Cheese.
Well, that's like basic. That's like crust. You can't say crust. Like, I don't like pizza without crust.
I'm saying like extra cheese. You have like pizzas.
Extra,
it's like it's super cheesy.
Like, there's no such thing. I mean, today there is, but like 20 years ago, there's no pizza without cheese. That's an essential thing.
Oh, okay.
But extra cheese. I do like you go to Costco. The cheese pizza has more calories than the pepperoni pizza. For that very reason, like there's more cheese.
Dude, cheesy, melty goodness is just the best. But what's your rationale for pepperoni?
It just seems kind of quintessential. I was going to say sausage, but like I eat sausage with other things in other contexts. And we do get pepperoni like as a lunch meat, but only because it was first a pizza topping. It just seems like that's the only time I will have the pepperoni cheese thing, like that synergy
like you could be in a room of like 20 strangers, and if you got a pepperoni pizza, you feel confident that most people.
It's going to be a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Nope. My son, actually, one of my kids picks off pepperoni, believe it or not. But in general, like I'm going to pick off mushrooms. I'm going to pick off olives. Other people pick off onions or peppers. But unless you're a vegetarian or vegan, like if you eat meat, you're probably happy with pepperoni.
Yeah.
So quintessential. But cheese is good in terms of palate and taste.
Yeah.
That's
Like I also think if I'm in a room full of like of strangers and they got an extra cheesy pizza, who could hate that?
That's good.
You're already eating a cheese on the pizza. Okay. You read this next one.
Well, what's more important, Shane? Being good looking or being smart?
I think there's an obvious answer, but I also think there's should answer a
What's
little more
more
depth
important?
to it.
What's more important, Shane? Being good looking or being smart?
I'd say being smart. I think if you don't know how to cook your food and eat it,
Okay.
I'm so, like you're not gonna like live like I think there's a I think you have a lot of advantages in society if you're just if you have something aesthetic to you, if you have a natural beauty, you are more successful in life statistically. But just being smart, just being able to basic. Again, if we're using this smartness more so than I know how much a elephant poops daily. Like, great, awesome. That's not going to get you.
That was episode 14, I believe. On 2414.
There was an episode with Wits and Wagers. But yeah, I think just being smart doesn't being good looking don't correlate to happiness. But I think being smart helps you just function in general. So yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. I'd rather be smart than good looking. Although I'd be curious for some PhD student to do a study. It'd be hard to measure these things, but I wonder, like in terms of just say like income and social network or something like that, or quality, like number. You could probably have some quantitative and qualitative surveys of like depth of friendships. I wonder if really beautiful people or really smart people end up happier and wealthier and better connected. It may very well be in our context that beauty leads to a better life than intelligence. And not just in a superficial, I got more money. Like you might actually have more friends and you might have more time laughing.
And you might just be happier in general. That's true. That's a good.
Now in different countries, different parts of the world, like not at all. Like if you're in some hunter gatherer society, I don't know, maybe they still serve you as king or queen if you're the beautiful one.
That's true. In different societies,
different cultures, I think value in being like productive and having ingenuity, being smart. So I think I would. If the question is, would you rather be smart or beautiful? I'd say beautiful. I'm smart. I think I would rather be smart than good looking. Mm-hmm. But I wonder in America in 2024, no, I still think smart's better. Because good looking just feels like it's dangerous.
It really, all right. Especially, like we're pride factor in this. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I think smart. We say smart. All right. This is a doozy.
Okay, here we go.
Playing video games is bad for health. Agree or disagree?
I disagree. I think video games can be great.
Yeah. All right. I was hoping you were gonna.
So I think some are terrible. I think some would be very dangerous, like socially and brain development wise.
I think there's as a product of spending way too much of my life and childhood playing video games. I think there are definitely limits to it, but inherently like video games aren't bad.
They're good.
But everything in moderation. Like if you never see daylight, you don't have actual tangible friends because video games consume your life. Yeah. Okay, then it's bad, but inherently video games bad? No.
I grew up with the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES, back before they had ergonomics and they knew about things. It was just the square controller, and I had literal blisters on my thumbs from these buttons that were just designed to hurt you.
What an ergonomic design.
I don't think they planned on people holding these things for hours with great intensity.
They haven't they realized how successful it was going to be.
Yeah. All right, Shane, number 15. No one should ever tell a lie. Agree or disagree? Ever. Under any circumstance, no one should ever tell a lie.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna disagree with that one. There's that philosopher, I can't remember who it was, that said you never should tell. I don't remember who, but whatever. Yeah, I disagree. I think again, everything in moderation. Like, should we lie all the time? No, but the 1940 Nazis invaded Poland, and people were hiding in the attics. Like, do you have Jews in your attic? Like, no. Like, for the well-being of life, I think you have to lie and ruse, and
it's good
for safety's sake, and also for surprises. Do you have something? I don't know, a surprise birthday party. Are you doing anything fun for my birthday? Yeah, we've got a surprise party for you. Life would just be miserable. All right, your answer. Sorry.
Right, same thing. I think there are times now. Lie is a strange word for some of these, but I read some. Might have been Gilbert Mylander. He's an ethicist at Valparaiso University. I think he even made this distinction one time of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. At time, So your wife says, does this look good? Yeah, or there's times where you can not lie, but you don't have to say everything you're thinking.
I think that's always the cliche answer of
or you came back from the funeral and you say, hey, what'd you think of that funeral? You might have had all kinds of thoughts about the accompanist and the sermon and the bulletin cover. But if it's their spouse who just died, the answer is, that was a really nice service. I'm glad we got to celebrate and grieve together. Mm-hmm. Even if your production mind is saying, that was a terrible service, you should fire the preacher. That's not what you say in the reception line.
Yeah, that's not it.
I thought it was a great service. What did you think? Yep, it was. I'm glad. So then you kind of redirect. I'm glad we're here together. And anyway.
Yeah.
So yes, there's times.
Yes. Okay.
Shane, which is better? Which is a better dessert, cake or ice cream?
Ice cream, hands down. We don't have to. No.
Ice cream's so good.
Obvious answer.
Although cheesecake is pretty good.
Humans are the most dangerous animal on the planet. Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
I obviously I think there's the deep answer of we're destroying the planet but we're doing if humans were perfect and design or sin wasn't a thing and we're a fall never happened, everything would be in harmony. I mean I think jaguar I think a fully angered testosterone filled gorilla is way more dangerous than any human.
Right.
Also,
there are millions of humans I would not want to meet in a dark alley, but there are also millions of humans that it would be fine. I don't want to meet one silverback gorilla anywhere. The odds are zero of survival. The odds of meeting to pick a single human out of however many billion are on the planet and put them in a room together, you're probably going to be fine.
Yeah. Now, I think if the question said humanity,
right?
Humanity is the most dangerous. Comparing collectively, we are the worst. But a human, take any human, compare it to a grizzly bear.
A random human. You lock me in a room with a random human, I'm probably coming out. You lock me in the room with the weakest grizzly bear in the world, I'm toast. For sure.
Yeah. Right. I get what this question is asking, but
lions are still lions. Yeah. And they're terrifying.
Humanity, we're terrible.
To be frank, if you put a crow in this room, I would lose my mind. A bird. You ever had a bird in your house? It's terrifying.
I can't say I have. Garage, I guess.
I've had multiple times where there's just a little sparrow in the house, and people are just losing it. They're under the table. They got brooms, and
to be fair, a wasp in a house. No.
Or a spider, Shane.
let's not get crazy.
All right, that's
here.
too personal.
Yeah. All right. Aliens may be living among us. Agree or disagree? Ooh.
Let me think for a second.
Cutting
Let me
deep.
think. Aliens may be living among us. What do you mean by among us?
Like here.
You mean like one of our staff might be an alien and we didn't know it?
I think like somewhere on Earth. Not like your neighbor might be in it. Like I guess maybe, but like somewhere on maybe they're
Okay.
like maybe they're in the Mariana Trench.
Okay. All right.
Buried in the mountain.
So what do you think?
I asked you first.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna lean into the word may and say sure. Aliens may be living among us. I'm okay with that.
Okay. I don't like how you're using the word may, so I'm going to change the question. Aliens are living among us.
All right, I'm going to say no.
Disagree.
I'm going to say disagree. I do not think there are aliens on Earth who are from another world right now.
I'm going to say I want to say agree.
Aliens are like on Earth right now. There are creatures from another planet,
and I don't want to like say like look.
That's okay.
The reptilians or like the gray, like I don't know, like whatever classification people have of aliens, like just like weird, disfigured human, like weird.
Okay.
And I don't know, non-carbon based creature, but I don't like. We know nothing about our universe, and like we try to understand it, and like. I don't like maybe somehow God's design angels might be alien by definition, and angels are here and somewhere. Like I don't maybe
cool. I like it.
But I think it'd be cool to figure it out. So I'm gonna just say yeah. Like,
all right.
There's things in this world we do not understand at all.
I like it.
Yeah.
Number 19, Shane. Clowns are scary. Agree or disagree?
We didn't even argue about that one. Sorry.
Well, it's okay.
All right.
But I think we can disagree and not.
We don't have to argue. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. We can talk more. You want to talk more about aliens?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
It is a fascinating thing. I love how like since COVID, seemingly, I wasn't alive in the 60s, but like since COVID, there's like government hearings about, hey, what are all these? Is it UAF? Is that what they call them? Like unidentified aerial phenomena. That'd be P.
But it's
not UFO anymore. There's a more contemporary term.
It means the same thing, though.
Right. It just doesn't sound so. But that's my point. It sounds less sci-fi, and it's more of like, okay, now this is a recognized government investigation with public hearings based on like service people's observation.
Yeah,
like that's like that became super mainstream in 2020.
Yeah. Is it like would it be like heretical to say like there's life? That there's life outside of Earth.
So I thought about that a fair amount. I think a Christian can believe in aliens. Like we believe there's other planets. I believe God created the heavens and the earth. I believe God created the giraffes and the hippopotamuses. That God created all the life. Could God have created life somewhere else and not told us? Yeah, he doesn't owe us anything. Like he didn't tell us everything that's in the sea. Like we could discover a new species tomorrow and be like, wow, we didn't know that was there. And God's like, yeah, that's pretty cool, huh? Like you don't even know half of what I did. So could he have made some other like birds of the heavens on this earth and also like avatar creatures in some other planet? Sure. Cool.
It was a cool thought. Again, like there's nothing like faith-based on this like thought. It's just cool things to think about what if there are other like I don't know, life forms or whatever, and just like Earth was just the one part in God's design that fell. Like
and also I'm just kind of like, this is just a conversation, people. Please don't get mad at me for being a heretic. I haven't thought about all the implications, but I think it's worth wondering aloud about, and we can do that safely.
Yeah, it's fun to just talk about random things. So
speaking of crazy things, clowns, scary or not scary? What's your clown stance?
I think they can make me uncomfortable. I don't think they're scary, so I'm going to say disagree.
I think uncomfortable. They make me uncomfortable too. Although I will lean into scary. I think in part because when I was growing up, my mother's, my whole life, my mom's favorite author was Stephen King. just terrifying things.
Yeah,
and so
very.
I don't think she had any decent filter of what we should or should not be watching and reading as kids.
You guys watch?
So we watched it like as children, like as young children.
Oh no!
Like I was certainly younger than my youngest when I saw that, and I would not let my oldest watch that now. I have memories watching Poltergeist and just all these terrifying things. But as it relates to this question, it was a regular. It was like it was a 2 VHS movie. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was a 2-part. I remember. I know which one you're talking. What's his name?
Pennywise.
Dave. The guy who played Pennywise.
Oh yeah, it's terrifying. Tim something.
Yeah, Tim Curry.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I think it's not just I'm uncomfortable for that man wearing a gross amount of makeup, but there is a certain amount of we all float down here, and I'm scared.
Fear to it.
Yeah,
I never, as a kid, I was like, I was scared of. Yeah, I don't even know. I was scared of mascots. Clowns are just like, they're weird. It makes no sense, but I'm not like running down the street from this goofy dude. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, math is an important subject to learn. Agree or disagree? Agree. I'm not going to let you answer. I'm just
let me ask this. We can make this a little maybe more pointed.
Okay.
Math is one of the top 2 subjects to learn. I would say that even. I'm not sure. To me, it's literacy
looking at
or
like
math.
Traditional like school subjects,
like
not like looking into like.
I would say you could never learn anything about science as long as you like. If you like math, if you only had 1 or 2 subjects to teach, like you need to learn to read and learn to do math.
Yeah, I would say if we lump language into one, like English, phonics, reading,
right,
like that into one, I think math would be the other. I never was good at math.
Right.
It never clicked with me, I think, until after I or like in the middle of college, or like it made more sense of like, oh yeah, this is important. Like, oh, like these things are important. I'm glad I actually learned how to like use a fraction. Yeah. Like it's so super helpful. Like, my
big brother is a mathematician. He gave me a book for Christmas and my birthday last year. Mm-hmm. And it was called like Thinking Mathematically or Mathematical Thinking. And it was so good. And it was about not just like learning equations, but learning to think in the ways that math allows us and invites us and even requires us to think.
Yeah. So I really loved, same in that same boat of like learning like the deep like theories of math and of like what's absolutely true in math, like what's a starting point in math, like, and where do you go from there? It's really fast.
All right, we're getting close, low on time. We've got 10 left. I think we should each find one in this top 10 or this final 10 where you think we disagree, or if you've got a bold take on one of these. So I've got. I think I've got one there that we might disagree at. Boy. How about we do lightning round? How about that? We'll just go through them real fast.
Okay.
Lightning round. Would you rather be good at sports or good at exams?
Man, I hate thinking. I'll say sports.
That's what I was going to say too.
Oh man.
Although, you know what? I'm going to take it back. I think the honest answer is, at this point in my life, I'd like to be good at sports, but I'm proud that school was like a game to me, and I was good at taking tests. Not that I was smart, but the activity of taking tests, I kind of excelled at. So I think we disagree there. 22, kids are smarter than grown-ups.
I disagree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
23, is it better to be rich with no friends or poor with many friends?
Poor with many friends.
I think I'd rather be rich with no friends. I'm being honest. I think I would. It's not the appropriate answer. We're in the lightning round, Shane.
Okay. All right.
Would I rather like be hungry and not have clean clothes, but I've got 10 dear friends to be hungry with, or would I rather have millions of dollars by myself?
Jesus taught me, blessed are the poor in spirit.
In my sinful nature, that's my answer. All right. Is it important to wear a uniform? Okay, school uniforms. For or against?
Against.
I'm for.
Oh man. Okay, let's circle it. We'll double back.
Okay.
We'll double back.
Should teachers have to wear a uniform at school? No, that's weird.
What were we saying? Uniform isn't all the same thing, or just like a dress? Okay, and no, I don't care.
All right,
agree.
Candy should be given as a reward in class. No, do your homework. All right. Are bad words bad?
Oh, that's a.
Shane?
This is a chew. There's a lot to chew on.
Well,
that.
the lightning round has come to a screeching halt over the issue of profanity of all things.
Let's put them. I'm gonna circle it. I'm gonna.
You gotta give.
We're gonna double back to it.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yes.
You don't have to say yes. I said I'd rather have money than friends.
In the vein. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Right,
My answer is yes.
Should students be paid to go to school? No. Do your homework.
Sorry.
Right?
Yes. I'm sorry. It's just the. I was like, there's got to be a second. Sorry.
Although we started paying our kids for grades this year. All right.
Still no. No.
Okay.
All right. Should students be allowed to use cell phones in class?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They shouldn't even. Yeah, they shouldn't even have the phone to begin with.
All right. Which is better, tap water or bottled water? Tap.
I've had some weird tap water in places. I'm gonna go bottled.
Oh, did you grow up with well water?
No.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
It's a difference.
We're gonna count them up here. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half that we disagreed on. We'll call it 11.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I got
10.
10.
All right. I guess 20 we'd agree.
Wow.
Nailed it.
Rigged
Right. From the beginning. You wanted to go back to one of these uniforms? Or wealth? Bad words?
Well, we both agreed on the bad words.
But we both hesitated.
Yeah, I think we put too much weight on some bad words.
Okay.
Like that. Like I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. But if you but it all depends on the cultural significance of the words, and also I don't want my kids using this word. But at some point, in what point in my kid's life do I not care anymore?
Yep. That's part of my thinking was in the love your neighbor sense. I think some words are harmful.
Yeah.
I think not in some microaggression, be sensitive way, but I think you can damage with words. I think you can be not just offensive in the sense that somebody was offended, but I think you could really offend people.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, in a number of contexts, some words are very inappropriate. If we're at a wedding or a funeral or a church service, as a pastor up front preaching, it would be very inappropriate to use certain words. Mm-hmm. And then the other thought I had was, as I volunteer in the classrooms and work with kids, if you're a third grader and the F words, every other word come out of your mouth, you are on a bad path.
Yeah.
If I'm a prospective employer, and I've told my own kids this, and the kids I coach, if I'm an employer and I've got two equal candidates and one of them regularly says, "What the," and the other one doesn't, that's a no-brainer for me. Who do I want to hire? I hate the phrase "what the." That's not even a bad word, but just but my point is sounding ignorant or unnecessarily base is not going to help you in life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think personally, many bad words, just one-on-one conversation, it does, if you guys are close, it doesn't matter. It's how you're using the words, though.
I think sometimes, but I also think I agree that sometimes a harsh word might be the best word to express what you're going with.
Yeah.
So if I'm grieving with you one-on-one and I'm really angry about something, I might use a word that I would never use in front of my kids or the church.
No. Yeah.
And in that moment, it might not offend you or harm someone else, and it might reveal my heart in a way that no other word could.
Yeah. So I think there's weird Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, words, there are bad words, and they're bad for
and there's bad situations for words.
Absolutely, yeah.
That might be okay in other places.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, the school uniform ones. What you said? It is important to wear a uniform at school.
I'm a fan.
Really?
Yeah, my kids' middle school had uniforms until this year. Then they went back on it.
Really? So is there a dress code?
I'm not sure there is anymore. Maybe there's some, but
I guess like to a degree there is.
But that's part of it is like schools right now have such a hard time just teaching literacy and math. I don't want them having to police. All right, is that too short of a skirt? Is that too revealing of a top? You know, people have really inappropriate words on their shirt, but some of it is like the teachers don't know if it's inappropriate, so they're Googling like, this kid's got this thing. Is that an idiom or a euphemism for oral sex? Or is that actually just a brand of a thing? Like, just learn. Like, everybody gets a blue hoodie and learn math. And so I think...
So you're saying, like, so you're not saying like...
I don't want the teachers to spend all this time having to police what's appropriate or not. And I also think clothing can be a big distraction, not just sexually, but you're trendy and I'm not. I'm poor and you're rich.
There's a stigma to what you wear.
Like you wore that yesterday.
That's a good point.
I wear a new shirt every day. Middle school's already hard enough. If everybody's wearing khaki shorts and a blue hoodie, let's just do what we came here to do.
Yeah.
And so if it's that, or you wear dirty holy jeans and I wear a new pair every day, like I realize kids are already going to be divided and they're already going to classify themselves. But if we can mitigate some of that, I'd be in favor.
That's a really, dare I say, you've swayed me. I've
never had uniforms, by the way. This is not from experience.
I have not. I've had a like strict dress code for one school, but nothing like everyone has to wear the same exact thing. But the logic makes sense to me. Are there? I'm saying this because I genuinely don't know. Are there public schools that have uniforms?
So up until either this year or last year, my kids go to public school.
Oh,
so
okay,
up until I forget which. I think this year might be the first year. Up until this year, it was. They had it wasn't like uniform. It was you could either wear a Meeker hoodie, a Meeker t-shirt, or like there were a handful of things. It wasn't like here's your one shirt or you have 7 of these and they're all identical. It wasn't like kind of that classic like Catholic school from 50 years ago where it's cookie cutter like military. It was more these are the 4 approved things.
I'm definitely not. I don't know. Again, I've never been to a school with strict uniforms, but I can't. I don't know.
So
that does not sound. Like that doesn't like very strict, like tight collar, like ties every like week for school. That's just like that's.
But when it's guidelines, that's hard. That's where I feel like the administration's going to spend too much time policing. It's like all these videos. Like I remember, especially during COVID or afterwards, where people were like, "I got dress coded at Disneyland for wearing this," and they're just pushing boundaries and trying to get away with stuff.
You're trying to push the button.
And then some kid is just trying to like work a part-time job now has to ask you to put a T-shirt on, and you're going to be a martyr about it. Like I don't need that at our schools. Like those teachers have a hard enough job. The administrators are already so busy.
Just make it easy
to have to police what's appropriate.
Yeah, so that sounds great for teachers' sake. That sounds great. All right, you've swayed me. You've swayed me.
All right,
this is
9.
I like it. All right. Yeah, we've processed a lot.
This is good, Shane. This is fun. We've alienated all of our listeners with some of our questions.
Everyone is screaming. Punching through drywall.
Unsubscribe. Mash that button to unsubscribe.
Now we're down to 12.
We're down to 12. The faithful. That's what Jesus started with, and one of them hated him and killed him. Turned him over.
All right. So we're calling.
We're doing okay.
We're calling the remainder listeners, the apostles.
Oh boy.
No, I'm kidding.
Dangerous.
I'm kidding. No. But yeah, I really. It's just a fun random banter episode. Like I could say there's a deeper point to it, and maybe there is that. Like, yeah, you can agree to disagree in many things in life, and certainly none of these. I think we were. I'm sure there's deeper things we probably can unravel, and maybe some later episodes we'll uncover certain things we're much more passionate about,
Sure.
and we're like debating and maybe just trying to find that common ground in it. But it's even if there is not that common ground in it,
okay.
like it's okay. Like
Yeah. And even our uniform thing, you said like I won you. That's fine. But what I felt in that moment is I want to share my thinking, and I'm not trying to convince you.
yeah.
That felt freeing to me. If I don't need you to think what I do, but I'd like you to understand what I think. And had we more time, I would maybe hopefully take some time to hear what you think.
Yeah.
But not today.
Not today.
Jane Seymour said, or was it Jane Pauley? I don't remember which one.
Pick any one you want.
I think it may have been Jane Russell who said, "That's all, folks."
their famous line. Oh my goodness. Thank you for listening.
Sorry.
Well, we'll catch you guys later. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Take care, friends.
That's the end of the episode, but we want to continue the conversation. Continue the conversation by sharing this episode, subscribing, or leaving a review. Connect with us on Instagram at 2414 Podcast. Connect with us through email at 2414@stlukes-church.com. Or best of all, keep the conversation going by inviting someone to process with you so that you can each walk away with more understanding that leads to more conversation as the journey continues. If you happen to be in the Seattle-Tacoma area of Washington, stop by on a Sunday morning and say hi. 2414 is a podcast produced by St. Luke's Lutheran Church in Federal Way, Washington. To find more content, discover upcoming opportunities to connect in person, or to support the show, head on over to stlukes-church.com. Thanks for walking with us.